Hi guys, welcome back to another reaction video and thoughts here on Our Eyes Your Eyes. I'm ready to watch episode 10 of A Chainsaw Man. But before starting this video, I just want to remind you to subscribe to the channel, click on the notification bell, leave a like to support me, and feel free to follow me till the end of this great story, or at least at the end of season 1. Okay, in the previous episode we saw that we understood more about Makiba's power, and now we have to see if Denji can recover, because I think that we need him for the ending. So let's see what's going to happen. Are you ready to join me with these? Check it out. So that's Denji. Oh no, that's Aki. What? This time the roles are inverted, eh? And yeah, the apple. He's awake. Ah, I thought that she realized that he was awake. Hello? Ah. Now if you talk about Himeno... No, she didn't survive. He's crying. No. Why didn't you make that face? Because he saw him in a hard place. Oh yeah, cause he... Oh! Only 2 years. But when Denji will discover this one day, how will he feel? That's a way to connect it to him, you know. Yeah. I feel so sad for him. Yeah, I think Aki, that's the right thing to do, to release your emotions, because there's no way you can heal from all this. Yeah, I think um, why don't you think about that, Denji? Yeah, she's the one. Mm. Yeah, because you spent the time with him. I don't think so. No, in my opinion, in this case, you will feel sad. I don't think so, Denji. Because all these people, except for Aki, they... because they didn't give you anything important in your heart. Finally, you're realizing something important. No. You will think about it later when Aki will go. Because even if Himeno seemed to be your first friend, I think that Aki was your real friend from the beginning. He can do it by himself, I guess. So that graveyard is for all the members who died? Oh, that's Himeno's trainer? Yes, I think that's him. Yeah, it should be him. Right? Yeah. And that's... Okay, thank you. Uh, oh, okay. Again, other orders. Okay, nice way to spread love. Welcome to the first division. Oh, okay. And in fact, Denji needs blood to keep going ahead fighting. I'm not sure why. Okay. It's a challenge. Again. Uh-oh. Whoa, I think that he's something else. I mean... Wow! So Denji's immortal. They keep training like this over and over again. No way. I mean, Aki's left aside alone. Aki, think about it. But he only has 2 years left, so there's no way that he can restart them. Exactly. But what kind of devil is he going to be assigned to? Is that Makima? No. Who's she? Who's there? Kobeni? No. What? Who's she? They are exhausted. They trained until night. I don't think he... Okay, he healed. And the trainer was perfectly fine. Mm. And life is not just having fun, dear. Ah. A hundred plans already. I don't think that none of them will work, but maybe when he's opening the door, they are attacking him already. Hi. They are. Eh. But I think that he knows that, or he's imagining that. Oh, of course. Wow. Okay, but it's not enough. We still don't know his name, but he's really, really awesome. No, he feels you, I guess. Eh. Wow. In fact, it was a little bit poor from his perspective. Okay, I mean, it's already done, finished. Watch out. See? You're too careless. Eh, exactly. In fact, to call it for a date was too good to be true. That was really fast. And the training should go ahead for the entire day. Oh my. What kind of devil is he joining with? There are only 2 years left, so Aki doesn't have care about what kind of devil. Yes! Who was that? No, please tell us. Aki, we needed to know who was that girl. Ah, okay. Why? Is she talking about him? I mean, he's a him and talking about him, and that's why. Yeah, she cared about you a lot. 108. Oh no. Oh, Aki. Fingers crossed, but... But what does that mean, the future devil? Is he going to see the future thanks to that? Okay guys, this episode was quite intense. I wanted to talk about Aki first because he was the main protagonist of this episode, I guess. I think that in the first part of the episode, Aki understood how lonely he is right now because he lost everything. I mean, he lost his parents, he lost his little brother, he lost Himeno. So he really feels nothing was worth it. I mean, everything that he has done so far was completely meaningless because anyway, he was losing someone dear to him. He's starting asking, how much time do I still have to live at this point? Because while using the katana, we know that he is losing a part of his life. And this curse said to him that he has still 2 years. But I really feel sorry for Aki because while he's waking up, first of all, nobody is realizing that he is waking up. And second of all, now things are inverted because at the beginning Denji was in his bed and Aki was there trying to cut this apple for him, do you remember? But now it seems that the most fragile person is Aki, while at the beginning of the story Denji seemed to be really, really weak. I like this contrast because at the beginning Aki seemed to be the most expert one, the one that Makima trusted to give him Denji and to instruct Denji a little bit. And right now we feel Aki's weakness, as if he lost completely the will to do anything based on the fact that he lost. So I think that this fragility is well depicted here, and I really like even the fact that you see that a strong character like Aki can reveal his fragility by crying. I think that Aki really needed this because we have never seen him crying throughout all these episodes. We have never seen him fail or falling down, And I think that this is really interesting because we understand that Aki is not just a kind person, he's even weak, but he's just hiding all these things from others, because if he's showing somebody else his fragility, then he's going to be naked, and everyone understands his real feelings. Most of the things that I'm telling you now are the things that I already told you in the previous episodes. And I think that Denji realized this fragility, and that's why he was looking at him like this, because he has never seen Aki that way. And the fact that Denji was the one who could capture this fragility makes me understand that later Denji will feel sad if Aki will be gone. I have these feelings. Even if Denji later is saying no, I don't think that I would care, I think you will, Denji, because if you remember what happened since the beginning, Aki was the one who took care of you for real, and you were going against him, principally speaking, at the beginning of the story, but little by little you used to stay with him every day as a routine, and that's why I believe that when these people are going, at first, you believe that nothing is going to change in your life because, yeah, he was there and whatsoever. But as soon as he's starting thinking about what life could be without a person, then I think that Denji will realize the difference. Yeah, when he was comparing his experience with Aki and his experience with Pochita, of course Pochita was more important than Aki, because Pochita was sharing with Denji lots of tremendous moments, and they were spending time together in that dark place. So by joining forces and by not feeling lonely, they were encouraging each other, right? But in the case of Aki, I think that Denji will appreciate later what Aki did for him, because he was helping Denji to grow. And it's not something obvious that all people do. So I think that little by little, Denji will appreciate Aki for real. Denji right now is still focusing on Makima, but sooner or later, all these illusion is going to fade away. And sincerely, I can't wait for that moment, because Denji is still stuck on this idea that Makima is really important, but something has to happen to let Denji change his mind once for all, and I can't wait for that moment, and I really hope that it's happening at this point. I was really happy to see that his fragility was conveyed in this episode, and that he could finally cry, because by crying he was releasing a little partial pain that he's feeling, and it was worth it, because immediately after he decided to go ahead and to proceed by being a demon, or at least to join another demon, because he has just 2 years left and there is no way his life can change. And it doesn't matter if he is gaining something new, or if he's starting a new life with a normal job and whatsoever, nothing is going to change, because the 2 years are still 2 years and they are not disappearing as a time limit. So I can understand what Aki is feeling. I understand that he wants to proceed in this, even if by receiving these letters from Himeno that were collected by her sister, you could understand how Himeno wanted him to leave this job, because this job was quite scary and it could have taken him to death. We understand how much Himeno cared about Aki throughout all that time, because in all letters she was talking about him, and thanks to this favor that this sister is making to Aki, that means to read these letters, Aki could get in touch with different sides of Himeno that even he didn't understand, or he even didn't notice until that moment. And that really mattered, because Aki, for this reason, decides to keep going ahead, because after he lost his parents and his little brother, now there is another person to revenge. There is another person that is in the list of the people who have to be avenged, in Aki's opinion, and that's Himeno, of course. I really liked all these details in this first part of the episode, such as the apple, of course, even the cigarette, that it's not going to start because the light is not starting, and that's a great sign because usually it was starting thanks to Himeno and thanks to the fact that she wanted Aki to smoke, and right now that she's gone, this is not going to work, and that's already a sign that she is gone for real, and Aki has to accept this, and that's why later he is crying. But even that small thing in which we see that Aki is awake already and nobody is realizing that he is awake, because if he feels completely lonely by himself, handling this pain by himself. I like even another side of his personality, that means that he's not going to be tricked by others, because these members are coming asking him to change his life, to say that it's time to quit already, that he doesn't have this strength as before. Anyway, he lost his comrade and there's no way that he is going to be strong as before, also because this fox devil decided to quit and decided to end this relationship with Aki. So even the devil decided to get rid of him. So as you can see, they were immediately ready to get rid of him too. From Aki's perspective, that's quite sad, because you remember that when he joined with a purpose to be helped by this devil, to gain this power to defeat other devils, because that was his mission that he put in his mind. The fact that he really liked the Makima too, and now he heard that they can get rid of him so easily, made him understand his importance in this team. I think that now Aki is thinking more about the place in which he is, even if he was already well aware of this, instead of Denji, who is not aware of anything, or at least he's starting thinking about things, but he's not on Aki's level. But Aki now, he's having the confirmation, the ultimate confirmation that no one cares about him, that he's replaceable and he's not important at all. But for all these reasons, he prefers to go ahead because he doesn't want to get rid of his mission. He feels that his mission is definitely more important than his life at this point. And if he can change at least a small thing from all these, that's already a great conquer. And I think that that's what he wants to do. He wants to continue, not because it's good, not because it's the right thing to do, but because his purpose is more important at this point. And he already knows that by having a time limit, there is no way that things can change for him. So if he is going to risk his life, at least he's going to risk it for something good, because if he can delete in 2 years this Gun Devil, he can die in peace. And he can die in peace not just for himself, but also for his parents, also for Himeno, and all the people who suffered because of this devil. So the fact that he keeps trying, that's really amazing. Other people probably would have said, okay, no, I can't handle this anymore. I lost too many people, dear people, that now I'm tired to keep going ahead pushing myself. Aki seems not to be like this, and in fact he's meeting this future devil, but I don't understand what's the power of this devil. I hope that in the next episode, in the second to last episode, they are going to tell us more about these. And at the same time, I wanted to see how Aki will approach this devil and the consequences, because we know that anyway there is a consequence when you are approaching a new devil. There is another contract to sign, and we needed to know more about this contract between the two. But what does it mean, a future devil? Is it going to be useful for Aki because he can see the future? So he knows already what's going to happen. Can you imagine? He is signing probably this contract because he believes that anyway there will be a chance for him to defeat the Gun Devil, or at least to not die before he is reaching this goal. But once he's signing the contract with this devil, or at least when they are going to join forces and he can see the future, he will understand that nothing will change. Can you imagine? It means that this last sacrifice of him was totally meaningless. I really hope it's not going to happen something like this, to be honest. And I hope that Aki will be able to rest in peace, because his life was definitely painful and he didn't deserve all this pain, in my opinion. I know that also the other characters didn't deserve any of the pain that they're feeling, but I don't know, I feel empathic to Aki in this story. I absolutely feel the way he is and why he keeps pushing forward. Talking about Denji Power and this new trainer, okay, we don't know his name, but I really like him, sincerely. I like the way in which he is having this attitude towards Denji and Power, to push them, to let them find the strength that they need. Because if things are too easy, then it's pointless for us in life to fight, right? So I really like the fact that he is really strong, and Denji and Power, who believed that everything was so easy, are keep failing in all they are doing. The fact that they have to struggle to reach what they want, and they don't have what they want immediately, that's a challenge, especially for Power at this point, because Power always wanted something and she gained it by herself in a few seconds, or at least in a small amount of time, but now she has to challenge too. So it's something that can help her grow too somehow. And on the contrary, Denji is always following the orders, or once again he has a target and he has a goal to reach, and in order to reach that goal he has to defeat this target. And as you can see, Denji's life will always be like this until he will change. I mean, there will not be a way for Denji to change his perspective of life until he will stop and he will ask himself, what am I doing here? At this point, did my life change? I don't think so, because there are always missions to fulfill. I always have to work for somebody else who's not even caring if I risk my life. I mean, he seems apathic because he's not feeling anything. Or, okay, in real life we can say that he's like a sociopath, because he's not feeling a pain, he's not feeling any sort of emotion, he's not even crying if a comrade is gone, etc., etc. So the approach to life is too neutral, because there are no feelings involved. And even when he was thinking about Aki's reaction, and he was saying, Aki was crying, but will I cry? Of course you will not cry, Denji, because with all these people you have never started a relationship. It's just about working together, but working together doesn't mean anything. They are just co-workers. You were searching for a simple life, for a normal life, and in normal life you always have to socialize, you have to create bonds, you have to create relationships. You can explore yourself by creating a friendship, or by creating a relationship between two lovers. You experience things that right now you are not experiencing, and that's why even if you're asking yourself if you would have cried, the answer is always the same. The answer is no, for the moment. But I really believe that he was completely shocked to see Aki crying, because he has always seen Aki as the strongest, as the one who is never changing his facial expression, the one who is really rude as an approach, and he is not even talking a lot and whatsoever. But the moment he saw him crying, maybe made him think like, okay, if Aki cried, maybe I can also cry, because from the image that I have of Aki, now everything collapsed. Am I going to have the same reaction one day? Maybe. I think when Aki will go, he will feel sad. I don't know, I have this feeling, because between these two characters there is a strange connection that is untold still. But I hope that Aki and Denji one day, they are going to reveal the fact that it was nice to spend the time together, that each of them could help the other one to grow, and it was something that was mutating the inner self of both of them. So it was pretty useful, this contact. Do we have to thank Makima? Okay, let's thank Makima, but this makes you understand once again that in evil things you can always find a small percentage of good. That's why Denji still has to think more about these. But yeah, of course, he can't feel anything for all the others because no one was giving him any sort of affection. Look at Himeno. Yeah, she started saying let's be friends because we cooperate to exchange, to give help to each other regarding our future partners. Let's say one in the case of Denji Makima, in the case of Himeno Aki. But that was not a friendship, it was just a collaboration. And Denji still has to understand these terms because while Himeno was saying, I'm your first friend or something, Denji believed it, but that's not friendship, that's just the way to take an advantage of a person and to stay together with a person because it's convenient. For Himeno, it was convenient that Denji was there because she knew how to get in touch with Aki automatically, not because she cared about Denji, but because he was really useful in that moment. So that's not being friends, okay? By not having these personal knowledge about these terms based on experiences that he can have, he can misunderstand even the meaning of these terms. And that's why he can't cry for Himeno. We need also to understand that Himeno was the one who traumatized Denji with that kiss, so it's impossible for him to cry for her. But if someone is doing something good for Denji, or if someone is showing some feelings for him, I think that his vision of the world might change. But unfortunately, he is surrounded by people who are not caring about him, and that's the result. That's what Aki also is feeling, because nobody cares about him. Or in the case of Himeno, yes, she cared about him, but she has never had the guts to say it out loud. So for Aki, there was no way that Himeno was caring about him as much as she wrote in the letters. So even this way to discover things later, it's quite painful, because it's better to say things out loud when you're able to say them, and not when it's too late, and not when there is no chance to meet again or to say proper things in the proper time. We don't know when it's the proper time to say things, but at least we should try not to waste the time, because if we waste the time, then we are going to reach Aki's condition, and I don't think that that's the right thing to do. So Himeno should have told him before that she cared about him, that she loved him, that she wanted the best for him, that she wanted to rescue him. And that's why when she was saying to Aki, look, let's go private, Aki said no way, because of course Aki was having all the comforts by staying here, by staying in this association, and he was focusing too much on Makima. But that Makima was promising him good food, an apartment, everything. You just have to fight for me. So that's something great. If he went to private, that was not the same comfort, right? But at that time, even if the comfort was not there, there was love. But he couldn't understand that because Himeno was not sincere to him. And that's the result. So now let's see what's going to happen. Yeah, that trainer made us understand the fact that he is really strong. And maybe you can defeat him in an easy way. Not just by fighting, but maybe he can be distracted by doing something else. And let's see. Even the fact that Denji believes all the times the words that other people are saying, that's his distraction. I believe that if Denji can doubt a little bit in life, then things will be different for him. Because even when the trainer said, oh, that is it for today, wow, he believed that immediately. As soon as he was said to go home and that's it, that's over, he believed that. And the result is that he received a knife here in the middle of his brain. He's not cautious. His guards are down, while he should be more cautious because all this organization is looking for him. so they can trick him easily and he can die multiple times. Or this devil that he has inside himself can be stolen in a second, because Denji has this huge defect. He believes at everything, and the reason why he believes at everything is that nobody told him to doubt. But this trainer can be really useful at this point, because he's teaching Denji to doubt, to not believe at everything that other people are saying. And that's the key left, I guess. I mean, even other characters told him the same things in a different way, like Aki when he was telling him, look, you didn't understand the place you are in. You're too innocent. You're dreaming too much. Dreams are replacing reality, and the risk is that you're seeing the world in a different way. So all these things, I think, that are useful for Denji. He's feeling pain, lots of pain while he's training. He doesn't understand how to defeat this trainer, but these can help Denji to think more, to doubt, but also to think more about his strategy, how to defeat an enemy, but also to doubt about his condition, his personal situation right now. So let's see if this can help even Denji's evolution a little bit more. I can't wait for that. Another thing that I want to say is that this trainer was communicating with Makima as if he was superior than her. I mean, at a certain point he would say, Makima, you can go. And Makima said, okay. I mean, she's having a different approach with all the characters, but with this trainer it seems as if he's stronger than her. And in fact, he's saying that he's the #1 devil hunter. But does that mean that he can surpass Makima, or Makima is still on top of everyone? Let's see. He's from the 1st division, so we have a chance even to meet someone who was not from the usual 4th special division. I want to know more about him, because we know that he also trained Himeno. I mean, Himeno was one of the people who were under him, especially when they were meeting at this graveyard. And we know that now the graveyard over there is made by all the graves of the members who died at this point. That makes me feel something like this. And that's why every time someone dies, they go over there. Was he in front of Himeno's grave? Maybe, because at that time when Himeno was in front of the grave of one of her comrades who died, he was there too. Was that the case in which now he was in front of Himeno's grave? Look, I hope one day Aki is going to visit Himeno's grave, because I think he needs to say many things to her. I think that he really needs to talk to her. And even if now she's gone, I really hope that he is going to put, for example, a cigarette on top of her grave. Or maybe when the Devil Gun will be defeated and before he will die, he is going to go and visit her for the last time. And maybe convey his feelings too. Who knows? That would be really, really nice. Or maybe it's too obvious. I don't know. Anyway, let's see what's going to happen, guys. See you tomorrow with the second to last episode of Chainsaw Man episode 11. In the meantime, feel free to subscribe to the channel and click on the notification bell. Bye, guys. See you in the next video.